There's a battle going on every single morning, a war between comfort and commitment. In the first few seconds when that alarm goes off, that's the front line. That's where most people lose the day before their feet even hit the floor. See, the bed is warm, the world outside is cold. But discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline only cares about what you do. You either rise or you roll over. Mornings aren't just a part of the day, they set the entire tone. You want to master your life? Start by mastering your morning. That's where the groundwork gets laid. That's where the blueprint gets drawn. You don't build a championship body in the afternoon. You don't build a legacy in your lunch break. You build it in the silence of the early hours, when nobody's watching, nobody's cheering, and it's just you versus you. You think successful people are just lucky? No. They're up before the sun with a purpose. They're putting in reps before the world even blinks. They're not checking their phones, they're checking their spirit. They're praying, meditating, moving, reading, planning. They're planting seeds because they know that success isn't a surprise. It's scheduled, it's structured, it's intentional, and it begins the moment the day does. Discipline in the morning is more than a habit, it's a mindset. It says, I control this day, I command it, I decide how it starts, and once you own that moment, everything else falls in line. Discipline in the morning means showing up even when motivation is still asleep. It's doing what needs to be done when comfort whispers that you don't have to. You want to be great? Stop hitting snooze on your life. Stop delaying your dreams by 10 minutes every morning, because every time you choose the pillow over progress, you're practicing quitting. And quitting is contagious, but so is discipline. It spreads into your habits, your work, your relationships. The way you do anything becomes the way you do everything, and it all starts with how you rise. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards discipline. It rewards those who are willing to do what's hard when it's hardest. And for most people, that's the morning, that's the hour of resistance. That's when discipline shows up, knocks on your door and says, let's go. Whether or not you answer, that's on you. Too many people wake up like life is chasing them, like the day is a weight they have to carry instead of a mission they get to fulfill. That's pressure, that's survival mode. And when you live like that, reacting instead of deciding, you hand over your power before the day even starts. You're not built to wake up stressed. You're built to wake up driven. But that only happens when you get up with purpose. Pressure says you have to. Purpose says you get to. There's a difference. One drains you, the other fuels you. One makes you dread the clock, the other makes you grateful for the chance. See, when you get up because you're late, because your phone's ringing, because your boss is waiting, you're not leading your life. You're being pulled by it. And a person pulled by pressure will always feel behind. Purpose is quiet. It doesn't screen. It's not in your notifications. It's in your heart. It's in the thing you told yourself you'd become. It's in the reason you even care in the first place. And when you rise with that in mind, when your first thought is vision, not obligation, something changes. You stop moving from fear. You start moving from focus. You're not running away from consequences. You're running toward meaning. You ever notice how you feel when you're doing something that actually matters to you? You're energized, you're alive. That's not caffeine, that's clarity. And you can bring that into every morning if you decide to wake up with why instead of what now. Your why is your weapon. Your why is your armor. When you get up with your reason in front of you, the pressure loses its grip. Most people wait for life to force them out of bed. Successful people invite the day in. They don't check emails, they check intentions. They don't jump into chaos. They sit in stillness first. That's not weakness, that's control, that's presence. And presence is power, because when you're present, you're not panicking, you're not chasing, you're choosing. And choice beats pressure every time. Purpose doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be flashy, it just has to be true. Could be your family, could be your faith, it could be the dream that's been burning in your chest since you were a kid. But whatever it is, it needs to be the first thing you think about when you open your eyes. Not the bills, not the calendar, not the deadlines, the reason, the mission, the why. Excuses love the dark. They thrive in comfort. They show up when it's quiet, when it's early, when nobody's around to call you out. That's why the morning is dangerous. It's the breeding ground for compromise. The mind starts negotiating. 5 more minutes. I'll start tomorrow. I deserve rest. You hear all that? That's not you. That's the voice of delay. That's the sound of potential dying in real time. You gotta shut that voice down before it even opens its mouth. That means having your mind made up the night before. That means deciding, preparing, committing. Not waking up and asking how you feel about it, because if you wait to feel like it, you've already lost. Excuses don't need a reason, they just need a moment. One moment of hesitation and they slip in like smoke under a door. The early hours belong to the disciplined. They belong to the people who don't need a crowd to perform, who don't need a coach yelling in their ear, who don't need applause to take action, because they're not driven by noise, they're driven by intention. And intention means you don't argue with yourself, you don't debate with comfort, you don't open the floor for excuses, you shut it down. Excuses sound good in your head. That's the trick. They come dressed like logic. They wear the face of self-care. They whisper, you've earned this, or you've been through a lot. And maybe that's true, but it doesn't change what needs to be done. Progress doesn't care how you feel. Growth doesn't take sick days. Destiny doesn't wait for your mood to line up. It moves forward, and if you want it, you better move with it. Before the world comes knocking, before texts start coming in, before the responsibilities pile up, you need to win that quiet battle inside. You need to catch the excuse while it's still a thought and kill it before it becomes a behavior. Because once it becomes a behavior, it becomes a pattern. And once it becomes a pattern, it becomes your life. That's how people drift. Not in big moments, but in tiny compromises repeated over time. The real ones, they train themselves to act before the excuse has a chance to speak. They rise when the bed begs them to stay. They move when the mind says wait. They do what needs doing when nobody's watching, when nothing's urgent, when the only reason is because they said they would. That's discipline. That's ownership. That's how you stay ahead of the game, by beating the voice of surrender before the world even wakes up. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a force. It's not some soft, pretty word you throw around when life is easy. No, real gratitude shows up when things are hard, when you're tired, when you're frustrated, when the alarm hits before the sun does, and you've got every reason to complain, but you choose to appreciate instead. That's power. That's control. That's how you turn struggle into strength. You can't be bitter and grateful at the same time. One will always cancel out the other. And if you want to step into your day strong, clear, and ready, you better pick gratitude first. It shifts your lens. It reminds you that the things you have were once things you prayed for. That what you get to do today, no matter how tough, was once just a dream, a goal, an opportunity you fought to earn. People think gratitude is passive, like it's sitting in stillness with a smile. But real gratitude is active. It's how you work. It's how you show up. It's in the way you treat people, in the effort you give, in the mindset you bring into the room. Gratitude says, I'm not owed this. I've been given this. And that shifts how you carry everything. You don't drag yourself through the day. You drive through it, fueled by appreciation, not obligation. Some folks wake up already defeated, already irritated. They let their first thoughts be about lack, what they don't have, what went wrong, what might go wrong. And that poison spreads quick. But gratitude is the antidote. It rewires your brain before the stress takes hold. It brings focus back to what's right, what's possible, what's real. That clarity, that emotional energy is a weapon. You want fire in the morning? Start counting your blessings like they're your reps. Don't wait until Thanksgiving. Don't wait for some perfect moment. Right now, name 5 things, 10 things. Say them out loud. Feel them. Let them hit you. Your health, your vision, the people that believe in you, the fact that you get another shot today. That energy, that's not just spiritual. It's strategic. It lifts you. It centers you. It sharpens you. Gratitude doesn't mean you ignore the grind. It means you approach the grind with a full heart. You face the pressure with perspective. You do the hard thing with a strong spirit, because when you're grateful, even pain has a purpose. Even failure has a lesson. You stop asking why me and start saying try me. You stop dragging your feet and start planting them firmly in the moment, locked in, fueled up, ready to go. Your body was never meant to stay still. It was built to move, to carry, to climb, to grind. Movement is more than physical, it's spiritual. It's the first signal you send to the world and to yourself that you're alive, you're able, and you're not here to sleepwalk through life. When you move your body, you're not just stretching muscles, you're waking up your will. You're setting fire to that lazy voice in your head and replacing it with power. You think energy comes from sleep alone, from coffee, from some external source? No, energy comes from motion. You don't wait to feel good to move. You move to feel good. One push-up becomes 10, one step becomes a run, one stretch becomes momentum. And momentum is sacred. It's the bridge between thinking and doing, between who you were yesterday and who you decide to be today. There's a direct connection between your physical state and your emotional fire. You ever notice how hard it is to stay negative when your blood's pumping, when sweat is running down your back, when your heart's racing, when your breath is heavy? That's your body and your spirit syncing up. That's chemistry turning into clarity. You stop overthinking, you stop doubting, you start feeling strong again. You don't have to be in a gym, you don't need fancy gear. All you need is effort, discipline, a decision to move, to break the stillness, to get your body engaged before the world starts pulling at your attention. Whether it's a walk, a stretch, a set of burpees, it's not about what you do, it's about why you do it. You move because movement creates progress. It shakes off the fear, it silences the doubt, it drowns out the noise. When your body is active, your spirit can't help but rise. Your posture shifts, your mindset shifts. You walk into rooms different, you speak different, because motion creates emotion. You're not dragging yourself through the day, you're powering through it. And that power, it's not just physical, it's emotional resilience, it's mental sharpness, it's spiritual alignment. You begin your day connected to yourself, to your purpose, to your strength. Some mornings you won't want to move. It's exactly why you must. You move to remember that you're in control, that your body answers to you, not your excuses, that your energy is created, not given. You're not waiting to be inspired, you're becoming the inspiration, rep by rep, breath by breath, step by step. The moment you open your eyes, something starts talking. Maybe it's fear, maybe it's stress, maybe it's that voice reminding you of yesterday's mistakes or tomorrow's problems. But here's the truth. If you don't speak to your day will speak for you. And it won't always speak with love. It'll speak with doubt, with pressure, with distraction. That's why you have to take the mic first, set the tone, declare the tempo, command the room before chaos gets a chance. Too many people wake up and immediately go passive. They scroll, they react, they absorb other people's noise. And when you do that, you're handing the steering wheel of your day to everything but your own voice. You wake up with a mind full of other people's opinions, other people's problems, other people's priorities. You become a background character in your own life. And that's no way to live. Speaking to your day doesn't mean being loud, it means being clear. Before the phone, before the inbox, before the headlines, you look in the mirror and remind yourself what this day means, who you are, what you're building, what you're made of. You put your goals on your tongue, you put your values in your chest, and you say it out loud, because words carry weight. Words create momentum, and if you don't use them, the world will use them for you. When you speak to your day, you reclaim your authority. You stop asking life for permission. You stop waiting for motivation to show up. You give yourself direction. It could be an affirmation, it could be prayer, it could be a declaration so personal, so specific that no one else would understand it, but you do. That's power, that's presence, that's choosing how you enter the arena, not just walking in hoping things go well. The day is listening every second, every situation. It's listening for a leader. If you don't lead your thoughts will lead you. If you don't guide your emotions will guide you. So speak strength before weakness finds you. Speak vision before distraction shows up. Speak peace before the noise even has a chance to knock. That voice inside of you, that's your weapon. That's your compass. Use it with intent. There's no magic to it. You don't have to feel confident to speak confidently. You just have to decide, right there in the stillness of the morning, that this day doesn't run you, you run it. That no matter what comes, good, bad, slow, chaotic, you've already set your foundation. You've already planted your flag. You spoke your truth before the world even had a chance to speak lies into your mind. Momentum isn't magic. It's built brick by brick, step by step, morning by morning. People look at winners and think they got there overnight. They didn't. They stacked consistency until it turned into confidence. They woke up when they didn't feel like it, showed up when nobody was watching, and did the work when no one was clapping. That's how momentum is made, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows of routine. Every morning is an investment, not in the day, in your identity. When you rise early, when you move with discipline, when you act with intention, you're not just checking boxes, you're casting a vote for the person you're becoming. And the more votes you cast, the more that version of you starts to take the lead. That's how you shift your life, not in one leap, but in 1,000 early mornings, done right. The danger is thinking that today doesn't matter, that missing one morning won't hurt, but that's how momentum dies, quietly, slowly, without warning. You skip one rep, one journal entry, 1 hour of discipline, and suddenly you're back at zero, wondering where the fire went. Momentum is fragile in the beginning. It needs protection. It needs you to take it seriously, even when no results have shown up yet. You want the big breakthroughs? They come after small wins stacked like dominoes. One solid morning turns into a solid week turns into a pattern. That pattern becomes identity, and identity, that's where the power lives. Because once you believe you're that person, the one who rises, the one who pushes, the one who never lets the morning slip, you don't need to force discipline anymore. It becomes who you are. Some days the energy will be low, the schedule will be tight, life will press in on every side, but momentum doesn't need you to be perfect, it just needs you to keep moving. You don't need to crush it every day, you just need to refuse to quit. The power is in the motion. Even a small push forward keeps the wheels turning, and if the wheels are turning, the progress is still alive, one morning at a time. That's the contract, not someday. Not when you feel like it. Today, right now. You win the morning, you keep the streak alive. You keep the streak alive, you start building something no one can take from you. Not circumstance, not failure, not fear, because once momentum is on your side, it doesn't just carry you, it pulls you forward. Success doesn't hit snooze. Success doesn't scroll. Success doesn't pull the blanket over its head when the alarm goes off. It rises early, on purpose, before the world makes its demands. Because success knows the morning is where the edge is carved. It's where champions separate themselves. When others are still dreaming, success is already moving, already building, already claiming space that's still untouched. Comfort is where dreams go to die. And sleep, that extra unnecessary sleep, is comfort dressed like self-care. There's a time for rest, no doubt, but there's also a time to get up before you feel ready, to rise not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. Because the goals you set don't care about your comfort, they care about your commitment, and commitment starts before sunrise. The ones who win, they understand this. They don't chase success in the afternoon, they prepare for it in the dark. They get out of bed when their body says no, and their vision says go. They sacrifice warmth for movement, silence for sweat, because they know success doesn't show up at noon with coffee and compliments. It shows up after reps, after routines, after relentless mornings done right. You want momentum? Beat the sun. You want discipline? Conquer your own laziness before the day begins, because that bed is not just a mattress, it's a battleground. And every time you rise, when it hurts, when it's inconvenient, when it's cold, you're building something inside that no one else can see, but everyone else will feel. That's how you get ahead. That's how you stay ahead. Sleeping in might feel good in the moment, but it costs more than you think. It costs clarity. It costs momentum. It costs confidence. Because every time you delay, you're telling your goals they can wait. And guess what? Goals that wait die. Dreams that get postponed fade. Success doesn't wait around to see when you'll feel ready. It rewards the one who shows up consistently, not occasionally. There's a reason the greats talk about mornings. It's not hype, it's strategy. The morning is the only time the world hasn't touched yet. No calls, no noise, no distractions, just you and the mission. And if you don't use that time, someone else will. Someone else is already out there grinding while you're still lying in bed negotiating with yourself about 5 more minutes.